Hi, thanks for joining. In this tutorial, we'll walk through the process of creating measures in Timbr. To do so, we'll be using Microsoft's well-known AdventureWorks dataset. We'll begin in the Ontology Explorer, where you can see the ontology model created from the AdventureWorks dataset. This model includes a variety of connected concepts such as customer, internet sales, product category, and so on. By clicking on any concept, for example, internet sales, a side panel will open displaying all its details, including properties, measures, and relationships to other concepts. On the left side of the screen, you'll see a tree view that allows you to explore all the available properties, measures, and relationships in the entire ontology. So let's start by creating a new measure. We'll define a measure assigned to the internet sales concept that calculates sales from the previous quarter. This new measure will reference existing measures, and when combined with relationships in the model, will allow us to group results by any property we choose. Once the measure is created, we'll be able to query it and group results by product name using the relationships seen here that connect the internet sales concept with the product concept, going through the subcategory and then category concepts. Great. So we'll click Create in the top left corner and select New Measure. We'll name the measure Previous Quarter Sales, and we'll set its data type to decimal. Now we'll define the logic of our measure using the following calculation. This calculates the total sales amount where the order date falls within the previous quarter. Finally, we'll assign the measure to the internet sales concept and click Save. Before we move to the SQL editor to query this measure, it's worth highlighting a useful feature in Timbr: modeling recommendations. By clicking the light bulb icon in the upper right corner, you can view recommended measures generated automatically by Timbr based on the structure and properties of your model. These suggestions offer ideas for commonly used calculations and base measures that can help accelerate your modeling process. So let's head over to the SQL editor to query the new measure. We'll start by selecting our knowledge graph, in this case, the AdventureWorks model. Next, let's insert our query. Let's review the query. We're retrieving the product name using the relationship of product, which links internet sales to product. We're referencing the new measure using the aggregate function as a prefix, which tells Timbr that this property is a calculation. Our from clause will include the internet sales concept using the dTimbr schema, which is the denormalized schema of the data model, exposing relationships and measures. Lastly, we're grouping by product name and ordering the results in descending order by previous quarter sales. Great, so let's run the query and see the results. And there they are. We now see the results showing the previous quarter sale by product. To see what was generated behind the scenes, we can click on the Explain Query button and review the full query pushed down to the database. There are two important things to keep in mind when querying measures. The first, always use an aggregate function. The second, if your query includes other fields, make sure to include a group by clause. By default, Timbr uses the aggregate prefix for measures, which works across most databases. However, you can also use sum or count instead, and Timbr will still apply the logic defined in the measure, regardless of which function prefix you use. Let's try this by running the same query again, this time using sum and count in place of aggregate. Great. Now let's take it a step further. Timbr measures also support dynamic filters, allowing you to apply filters directly in your query, even on top of a predefined measure. This means we can take our previous quarter sales measure and apply any desired filters we'd like within the query itself. In this case, we'll go with country-specific filters. Here's what that looks like. In this query, we're using the same measure 3 times, once without a filter, once filtered by sales in the United States, and once filtered for sales in Germany. This showcases the power of semantic relationships again, moving from internet sales to customer and then to geography, all without writing a single join. You can notice the path going from internet sales to customer to geography to fetch the country or region name. So let's run the query and see the dynamic filters in action. And there you have it. We've learned how to successfully create a measure in SQL and query it using both standard aggregations and dynamic filters. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in our next one. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.